Hola, my name is Rodrigo. I am born in El Salvador but based in Canberra, and today I first time showcasing some of my artworks here at Muy Bayola at the Marrickville Town Hall. So yeah, I'm really excited because I've done the trek from Canberra. I started painting about 4 years ago. Painting helps me process the way that I think. You know, Latin Americans, our heritage is very colorful, it's very vibrant. My artworks have like bold sparks of colors and striking lines, and there are animals and there are flowers, and there's a lot of Virgencita de Guadalupe. And for those of you that don't know, like, she's a very important figure in Latin American homes. And for my grandmother, she was a very important figure, and she was a very important figure for me. So
why is your grandmother so important to you?
my family were refugees when we came to Australia. I was 2 years old. And my grandmother and my grandfather, they were the first ones that took that plunge. So for me, my artwork is very important to honor their sacrifice, to celebrate where we are now as well, because they faced quite a lot of adversity. You know, they escaped a war to have a new life and new opportunity here, and they always said that they did it for not for their children but for their grandkids. So that's us. So for me, with my artwork, for me, it's like I want to live with intention. I'm really giving my all to this painting because I don't want their sacrifice to be in vain. And that's kind of why I have the bold pops of color, because, you know, even in the difficult times in life, you know, you can always kind of dig a little deep and try and look for the silver lining. And there's beauty in those times, in times of suffering, in times of adversity. So that's kind of where the pieces of work that are on display today come from.
How important was for you growing up having la cultura salvadoreña present in your life? How important was that for you?
So important. My cousins are like my best friends, right? Like, I don't know, it's very different here in Australia. Like, some people might never speak to their cousins, but for me, like, they are like my best friends. I've got all my aunties and uncles here.
Give us a cousin's name. Is there one that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Stephanie and Mildred, who are, they're out there. So I'll say hello to them. You know, like, we grew up together, and I don't know, I can't explain it. It's
They're basically your brothers and sisters. I get it completely because they understand your blend.
Yeah, they understand the blend. You know, you kind of go through all of the highs and lows.
Yeah. And did they arrive at a similar time to you?
Similar time, you know, and you know, I've only got brothers, but, you know, they're my sisters. Like, that's how we you know. So yeah, special shout out to them. They love my cousins. But yeah, growing up, I guess, we grew up in Canberra. All of the family in Canberra's quite a small place, so we lived like 5 minutes from each other. So we'd cycle to the shops together, or go to the park, meet up at the park. Back in the day when there were no phones. Or
what was it like growing up Latino or Salvadoreño in Canberra? Like, what was that? Was there any Latin community back in the day?
I feel like back in the day there was more of a community.
Okay.
I feel like here, because I do have memories of like the community getting together, but now, as you know, I maybe that's been lost. I feel like throughout the years, I think, and like, at least in our generation, we don't aside from my cousins, you know, but we don't really have any contact with other Salvadorian families. But I feel like events like this like really helps bridge that gap, I think, between generations. You know, I think we can learn from our folks, from our grandparents, to be able to bridge that gap. And I think this is what these events are doing, right? Like. And
what was your favorite moment with the Salvadorian culture growing up? Like, do you have a favorite thing you guys used to do together?
I think it's the food, right? You always get together around food. Like, I love pupusas, you know, mom still cooks them. Sometimes they sell from the home as well. So my parents still very much shout out sometimes, you know, to the community that they're selling pupusas. Or, you know, my dad's a chef. He's, you know, food was always centered around food. So yeah, definitely, like, it's such an important part. It brings everyone together.
When was the moment where you started painting? Like, have you been doing it since you were very little, or was there a particular moment when you just started picking up the paintbrush?
Yeah, I think I always probably leaned towards more the creative side at school. Like, I'd love to be in the art class through lunch breaks. I was never a sporty person. It wasn't until probably 4 years ago where I was diagnosed with a condition, like, where it's kind of like a precursor to glaucoma. So it affects my sight. I don't know how long I will have my sight. It's a daily battle that I have, but my painting has really helped me. You know, that's why there's colors too, right? Because it means hope for me. So yeah, that really was like, no, I got to live like intentionally. You know, I don't want it to be in vain. Like, you know, think of your grandmother, think of your parents. So that's why I'm really just, getting in there with the painting. Like it means so much.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're turning something that, like, you're taking control of that and
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
something
exactly.
passionate to move through with it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned before that you have some artwork, or you had an exhibition before in Canberra?
Yeah, I had an exhibition in June at the Front Gallery and recently at Arwen Gallery, and that one was Raíces y Alas. Very important for me to connect with my roots, and that's what it was all about, connecting with my roots. Sometimes it just means digging, like I said before, digging that little bit deeper, and for me it's connecting with my roots to take that next step or that next leap of faith. And that's, these pieces, which were, they were born from that space.
And I saw a beautiful one. I mean, they were all beautiful, but there was one that really caught my eye, and it had these pajaritos flying, and they had something connected to them. What was that painting? Where was that sort of inspired by? What was it inspired by?
El Principito is it's in Spanish, but it's called The Little Prince in English. The author's wife she's Salvadorian, and back in El Salvador we have a park named after El Principito, and it's one of my favorite books because it has so many like life lessons. The fox with the rose, there's so many wise tales. There's a line in there. I'm really going to screw it up here because I don't know it off, but it's something like what's important is invisible to the eyes, and that is it means so much to me. So the Little Prince is a very special book because of all those connections, and even the things going on with my sight, right? So that's why I love that.
If you were to just talk to us a little bit about who are you as a person behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes. Who am I? I don't know. I guess I'm just someone trying to figure out this path, this life. I want to live intentionally, and this is something that I've picked up later in life, and it brings me so much joy. And sometimes there are days where you're exhausted because I have a full-time job, but even just 10 minutes a day when you don't feel like doing this, like you just hustle, you get in there, you do the 10 minutes, and then it turns into an all-nighter, and you have this beautiful painting. Sometimes those are the best nights because you had no energy and you lose track of time, and it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and that's what happened with the Principito one.
Favorite music or some of the tracks? Do you listen to music while you paint?
I do. I like really chilled, mellow music. But then sometimes, the reggaeton does come out. I'm going to Bad Bunny in February, so Bad Bunny does come out every now and then. So
Which one are you going to? The first or second concert?
The first one,
Nice.
The first one, There's about 10 of us, all the cousins, all the friends, so we've got a big group. So if there's an after party, we'll be there as well,
Okay, cool. So you like the mellow music, sometimes a little bit of Latin music as well. What's El Salvador known for in terms of music? Is it cumbia, right?
Cumbias, more cumbias, I do love the Salvadorian cumbias too. It's very mellow, and it's important for me to connect with that too.
Are you connected with other, the Salvadorian community that is in Melbourne? I think there's a big growing one there. Are you familiar with Florecemos Juntos?
I think we send messages to each other every now and then or comment on each other's posts, but I would love to meet them one day too, because only through Insta, but I would love to meet them one day because I love their work.
All right. Well, I hope you heard that on Vito. If you're watching this, I think they're coming. Hopefully they're coming up for Bad Bunny. Who knows? But I think there's going to be a huge percentage of the Latin community in Sydney at one point. And if you would give a message to someone who's watching this about, maybe it could be about anything, a message to La Comunidad Latina, or a message about maybe some learnings you've gathered from your journey, what would that be?
Don't overthink it. I think if you really feel like you want to launch into something, I think the best part is just to let go. I was someone who was always even with my painting, I wanted it to be perfect. And then I remember someone saying in a live drawing class, just let go. If you make a mark, that mark is meant to be there. Let go, give it a go. Don't think twice,
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.